I think I do. I think I do.
Just wait till the night.
Okay. It's okay. Just remember what. I'll write you.
Is this the gentleman in the ponytail and the
We could have been in and out by 8.
I'm usually cold too. Yeah. Well, there's all these extra people. Yeah. We're all here. That's how we do it anyway.
Good evening, and welcome to the Springfield School District Board of School Directors regular board meeting, September 22nd, 2022. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. We're going to get started. First, we have public comment. I just wanted to make a few comments. Each speaker should be a Springfield Morton resident. When you get up, please say your name and either your address or confirm that you're a Springfield Morton resident. You will be limited to 3 minutes. We have a lot of speakers. If by chance you're called on and you think that your comments have been already addressed and you don't want to speak and repeat what was said, all you have to do is say, "I'm good," and then I'll move on to the next person. Otherwise, we'll get through everybody. When we have a big crowd like this, please respect the speaker. Treat them as you'd want to be treated while you are speaking. And let's keep the talk down while the speakers are speaking. We sometimes run into a problem with that. We are curious as to what you have to say, and sometimes it gets a little confusing when there's other conversations going on. So with that, let's get started. First up, we have Rose Fasciaco.
Yeah.
Did I do good?
Yes, you did. Good
Okay.
evening. My name is Rose Fasciaco, and I live on Rockland Road here in Springfield. So again, my name is Rose Fasciaco. I am the mother of Spencer Fasciaco, who graduated from Springfield High School in 2018. He's also graduated from Kutztown University in spring of 22, summa cum laude, with a degree in applied digital arts. In Spencer's second quarter of 9th grade, he felt comfortable enough to express his truth. He was transgender. Spencer was born female. Spencer bravely announced to his classmates and his teachers that he preferred the pronouns he, him, or they. To his credit, and I do mean credit to all of his teachers, they adapted, complied with his request. The administration was equally supportive and adapted to Spencer's request to recognize him as Spencer. I don't believe anyone missed a beat. Spencer went confidently to college, never wavering in his decision, accomplished Dean's List every semester, graduated with the highest honors. He's held jobs, worked with autistic adults, and participated in every aspect of college life. And in no incident did anyone ever make him feel as if he was unworthy of respect and consideration. He is 100% accepted and even loved for who he was and who he is. Data indicates 82% of transgender individuals have considered killing themselves. 40% have attempted, with suicidal highly amongst transgender youth. I, for one, am grateful to the supportive environment that Spencer enjoyed here at Springfield High School, and for GSA Club that provided a safe space for students to find an accepting group of friends, for the acceptance, the support he received by each and every one on staff here at Springfield High School who made his high school experience what it was supposed to be. Now, Spencer couldn't be here tonight. He's at the Little Nas concert. So he asked me to speak on his behalf. He says, when I was 12, I realized something was different about me. Something inside me yearned for a different path in life, something more authentic to myself instead of the facade I was putting on to fit in. I was too scared to tell anyone until I moved on to high school. I met a ceramics teacher named Chris Belton. Something about this teacher made me feel safe, and halfway through freshman year, I revealed that I was transgender, and I had chosen a new name. Belton was one of the first adults who fully supported me and gave me the confidence to tell my other teachers, all of which were amazing at using my new name and pronouns. I got bullied, of course, but the teachers and staff had my back. They respected me when others wouldn't. I felt safe in their classrooms. I got accommodations to change in the nurse's office for gym, and instead of having to use the locker room, I even received 2 diplomas, one with my legal name and one with my chosen name in case I needed it. If I didn't have this support, I knew I would have fallen down a darker path, a path of depression, anxiety, and God even knows worse. A survey by the Trevor Project, a suicide prevention nonprofit, found that 45% of LGBT youth have considered suicide. Why is that? It's not because we're queer, it's because we lack outside support and face more harassment than other people.
Hey, Rose,
the same
Rose,
survey report
Rose,
the youth went to LGBT
Rose,
supportive
your time's
schools,
up.
lowered in
But thank you.
We didn't want to hit
I
the
have
buzzer, but
a
we
few
wanted
more
to get-
words. Affirmation, support, and respect can save your child's life. I know this because Springfield School District and its teachers saved my life. I know they will save many more as long as queer youth are supported and accepted.
Thank you. Next, we have Joy Karsher?
Hi, I'm Joy Karsner. I'm a resident of Springfield on Ballymore Road. I'm the parent of 3 students in Springfield School District, 1 at ETR and 2 at the high school. And like Rose, I'm also the parent of a transgender student. Like all of you here, I love and care about my kids so much. Rose talked about the Trevor Project. I volunteer with the Trevor Project as a crisis counselor, and every week I talk to the youth
Take your time.
who are in crisis, LGBTQ youth who are in crisis. Suicide is the #2 cause of death for youth ages 10 to 24, and LGBTQ youth are 4 times more likely to attempt suicide than their peers. There are many ways to lower someone's risk of suicide, and for youth that includes connectedness to safe schools and a feeling of safety and support in their schools. I just want to thank the Springfield teachers and administrators who have made my children feel safe, because without you, I don't know if they'd be here today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, next we have Drew Melbourne. Drew?
So those were some good speakers, and they had prepared remarks, which was great, and I do not. I have ADHD, and so public speaking is not my favorite thing in the world, but I really wanted to come out today to talk a little bit about the the school district, and my son. He is 6 years old. He's a first grader over at the SLC. Oh, and I'm sorry, and I live a couple blocks away on Harwick Road. We picked the house because it's within walking distance of the Wawa, and I lived in New York for many years, and I came back for the Wawa. And I have to say, the thing about having a kid, I had my kid relatively late in life. I feel a little bit like everybody else had it figured out by the time we had our kid. And one of my observations is you have a kid and you don't really know what's going to happen. You don't know who your kid's going to be. The best you can do is you can teach them to be kind, curious, to care about the world. And some of the other stuff is just going to happen, whether they have a learning disability or different sexual orientation, whether they're trans or cis. You just have to love your kid for who they are, and none of those things really make a difference. And so I think one of the things that I've appreciated as my kid has started at the SLC, he's had some really great teachers, a really great guidance counselor. Mrs. Coover is fantastic. When our cat died, she was very nice to my son. I'm still a little emotional about that. And what I really appreciate is the loving, supportive environment that comes from our elementary school, and hopefully will come from our middle school and our high school. And I want to make sure that my son is always loved and respected for whoever he grows up to be. And for the teachers who work here, whoever they are, whoever they love, I want them to be respected too, and I want them to be able to show that as an example. And I frankly don't like it when people come out and start harassing people or belittling people because of their sexual orientation, because they're trans, because of anything about them besides them being kind and decent and loving people. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Jill Doherty. Jill Doherty.
Hello, friends. My name is Jill Doherty. I live at 442 Thatcher Road in Springfield. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a current parent, a former Springfield High School teacher, a proud supporter of the important work done by our students, teachers, and administrators. I was moved to speak tonight after reading the petition circulating in the community, a petition that contains homophobic themes using dog whistles like woke, indoctrination to describe dedicated educators and what they're teaching in our district. It has been difficult for me to watch the assault on the rights of the LGBTQ plus community play out on the national stage. Ridiculous policies that mandate the discrimination of students and teachers, limit resources, and in my opinion, teach children that it is okay to bully others as long as they are different. It's made me angry, but I remained silent. This petition has brought out this abuse to our doorstep, and I do not believe that our community will allow the loud voices of few to hurt the adults and the children of our school community. The thoughts of those who have crafted the documents and those who have signed it do not speak for the ethos of who we are as a community, and we cannot be silent. We all know that diversity in itself does not create inclusion. An inclusion environment must be intentionally designed, nurtured, and supported. Students and teachers, together with the support of the administration and the school board, have worked hard to make Springfield School District a safe place for LGBTQ children to learn and grow by valuing all of their gifts and inviting them to engage openly as full members, as their authentic selves. We tell them you belong, you are important, you are an important part of Springfield Strong. We cannot put this hard work at risk to appease those who are seeking political gain from the publicity happening today. I want to thank the educators who have pride and trans flags in their classrooms, who ask students what pronouns they prefer. I want to thank them for explicitly letting us all know that they belong here, fully, not conditionally. I am hopeful that the administration will continue supporting those efforts. and I ask you as a board to do the same. The petition also asserts that it is not appropriate for LGBTQ+ adults to share information about their families or identity. This attempt to make the community invisible is homophobic at its core, and I think that any history teacher, maybe some in this room, would agree that no one who ever tried to make a group of people disappear has ever been on the right side of history. This is not a new theme. It is ugly, and we know better, we can do better, we must do better.
Thank you. Mr. Lee.
Good evening. Michael Lee, 123 West Sylvan Avenue, Morton, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, United States of America. During the last half of the 19th century, one of the most popular plays to appear on the American stage was Our American Cousin, which starred Laura Keene and Tom Taylor. While their names are obscure today, in their time they were as popular as Julia Roberts and Tom Hanks are in ours. The main plot of the play concerned a young American whose manners and upbringing left a lot to be desired, who travels to England to collect an inheritance. And while there, he meets up with his proper-bred, aristocratic English cousins. And in case anybody's wondering, since I was not alive during that period, I was not the inspiration for the play. I believe the play fell out of favor because of its unfortunate connection to the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln. As we all know, or I hope we know, on Good Friday, April 14th, 1865, during Act 3, Scene 2 of the play, Our American Cousin, the coward John Wilkes Booth shot President Lincoln in the back of the head. I believe that's why the play eventually fell out of favor. But however, it's time to correct an historical wrong. I believe it would be great if the Drama Club could obtain a paper copy of this play. One has to exist somewhere. You might find one on eBay or a used bookstore. And to bring the play back to the stage. I don't think it's been shown anywhere in this country since maybe around the time of President Lincoln's assassination. But folks, William Shakespeare's been dead over 400 years. His plays are still being enjoyed. Audiences come out and see them. Audiences loved Our American Cousin when it appeared on the stage in its heyday. People will enjoy it today if it can be shown. To quote Joe Namath, I guarantee it. So please, find a copy of the play and let's correct the historical wrong. Bring Our American Cousin out from the dark shadows of the forgotten past and bring it here into the bright, glorious sunshine of the present day. That's what I have to say. And in conclusion, I conclude with the President Lyndon Johnson's final words in his address to the nation on the evening of March 31st, 1968. Thank you for listening. Good night, and may God bless all of you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Excuse me. The flags need to stay stationary. You're blocking people's view.
No,
Let's not have any distractions.
No, I'll just put the
We're
flag
doing
in the
good
back,
here. We're
please.
doing good.
Thank you. Everyone, please. Let's be
Next,
respectful.
we have
of each other. Just in the back.
just stationary.
Thank you. Thank you.
Karen McCurdy Melfi.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Karen McCurdy Melfi. I'm a resident of Springfield. The petition that was going around makes me almost miss the hazmat suit guy. As a town, Springfield has an image problem. We're becoming known for the hate that we tolerate. Those who have even a basic understanding of human development know that you don't just hug a pride flag, say gay 3 times, and poof, you're a trans lesbian. We know it doesn't work that way. Pronoun recognition, displaying one's ally status, and all of those small but mighty gestures are not indoctrination. For many kids, however, these expressions of caring can end up being their salvation. Our teachers' driving purpose is to encourage the strengths and support the needs of every one of their students. LGBTQ youth are 4 times more likely to attempt suicide than their peers. If teacher support takes the form of a 5 by 7-inch pride flag and an innocuous interest survey that asks for preferred names and pronouns, in other words, signals of how kids want to be seen in their world, then where is the actual threat? On the other hand, if kids don't feel seen, therein lies the real danger. Springfield schools have...
Karen, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Just excuse me,
Yes,
1
I said
second.
yes,
Can we stop talking back there? We're trying to listen to the speaker.
Can you just put the flags down and have a seat? We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lord, I said yes, dear, to you.
What's that?
I said yes, dear, to you when you said I'm sorry. Just take it, just take it.
All right, I think we're
Feel
good.
well-trained.
I think we're good now. You can.
Thank you.
Springfield schools have the opportunity to override the image of the town that we are cultivating. The district's messaging needs to be bold, brave, and unimpeachably in support of all of our kids and teachers who care about them, regardless of their gender or sexual identities. We have felt the dedication of our teachers. We have heard about our administrators' steadfast support. Right now, we're looking to you as a board. If you as a board leave any doubt as to your commitment to teachers and all of our kids, you can see the kind of hate that inevitably comes creeping, marching, or goose-stepping in. True acceptance and love are not for the weak or the meek. Pride is a virtue when it is fueled by acceptance and love. Springfield School District's motto is pride in all things. In my daughter's words, we need to make that true. Thank you.
Thank you. Joseph Patine? Joseph Patine? Take your time, we're good.
Evening. I wish I could say it was fully a good one, but while it is a beautiful fall evening, it is never a good day to learn.
I'm sorry. Can you just start with your name and either confirm your address or say your
I
address?
had it right after my opening preamble.
You're not the first. You're not the first.
You're ruining my drama.
I know, I'm trying to mess you up.
I'm Joe, Ballymore Road, also apparently known as Halloween Street. Getting right to the point, it is never a good day to learn that hardworking teachers and students in my daughter's school district are being harassed simply for existing. As I just said, my name is Joe. I'm a 10-year Delco resident and a proud parent. My wife and I moved here mere months after we were married, and my daughter Lily was born in Delaware County Memorial Hospital. We love the area. The restaurants, our neighbors, we love this school. I love SLC. I volunteer, I fundraise. I saw this school get built. I lost a little weight on both tracks, the new one and the old one. My daughter recently learned to ride her bike in what she calls the numbers parking lot over there, and every evening I open my windows to hear the marching band practice Queen's Don't Stop Me Now, which, as most of you know, was written by the late great Freddie Mercury, who is bisexual. Marching band sounds great, by the way. This is, from my experience, a wonderful community and a diverse community. I see it every day. The kids who walk down my street, who ride their bikes, wearing their jerseys, their hijabs, carrying their pads and instruments, and I know for a fact that many of them are gay, bisexual, some might even be straight. The point is, there is no one single child in this district, and I don't want teachers who only care or help one single kind of child. I am proud of teachers who care enough to respect every child. I hope that when my child moves from SLC to Siebold to ERT and to hopefully eventually here, they will continue to get the same level of respect and care. It is a poor, pathetic thing to hate someone merely for existing.
Hey, Joe, you got to address the board. Thanks.
It is cowardly, bigoted, and this cowardly and bigoted harassment of teachers is unacceptable and unbecoming of this community. This is, as I said from my point of view, a good community. These are great teachers, and as a former teacher, they deserve our support. So, to any teachers who support our children in affirming who they are, thank you so much. Any teachers who ensure that our children are respectfully represented and identified, I thank you so much. And for any teacher who brings their whole self to the classroom fearlessly in support of our children, I thank you. You are deserving of recognition beyond what I can give, even though apparently I still have more time. But that's it.
Thank you. Next, we have Ari McDonald. Ari?
Hello, my name is Ari McDonald, and I live on 34 Yale Avenue, and I am a sophomore at this high school, and I am a leader of GSA. I think that a lot of people don't understand how important it is to have a simple thing like a pride flag or one of those posters that has like equality on it to a gay student, and me included being a part of that community. When you walk into a classroom and you see a trans flag or an LGBTQ flag, that is not just a symbol, that is, I'm safe here and my teachers accept me. And the fact that some people would rather have children be in a mental state where they don't have that support, in a mental state where they may have suicidal ideations, in a mental state where they are not able to learn in the school or be accepted in the community that they live in, is disrespectful. Nobody wants your child to be gay. Nobody cares. We just want simple respect from the people in this community, and to have our symbols that are not sexual or political. We just want them there so we know where we're accepted, because it's not everywhere. And when you walk into a classroom, it's like, it's nice, because then I know, oh, I don't have to be worried that I'll be called a slur in this classroom. I don't have to be worried that my teachers won't accept me. I don't have to be worried that I'll have bullying instances just like, you know, because I'm gay, I can be accepted. And I think it's important for us to have that in this school and in this community so that everyone can be accepted, because otherwise, what are we? We're not a community, we're just full of hate, and that's all.
Thank you. All right, next we have Courtney Seelar. Thank you for the pronunciation clue there, that helped.
Had experience with this. Hi, my name is Courtney Seelar, and I live on Overhill Road. I have 2 children in the district, one at Scenic and one at the SLC. My pronouns are she, her. Gay, black, white, homosexual, feminine. These words were noted on a petition as having made a class of students uncomfortable. Yet they are words that many individuals within our community consider vital parts of their identity. If they make you uncomfortable, that sounds like a you problem. What should make you uncomfortable are the statistics. Others have said them, but I think they are important to hammer home. LGBTQ+ students are more than 4 times as likely to attempt suicide than their peers. Source, The Trevor Project. 25% of transgender individuals report having been attacked. Source, the American Psychiatric Association. 82% of transgender individuals have considered killing themselves. 82%. 40% have attempted suicide, with suicidality highest among transgender youth. Source, NIH. Imagine that being your child. It is our job as a community, as a school district, to make sure that every child feels safe, loved, and seen. It is clear from the recent outcry from parents of middle schoolers, not kindergartners, mind you, developing adolescents in the throes of puberty, that there is no guarantee that children are getting a healthy amount of support at home. This is why we need these conversations to take place in school. We need to normalize gender identities so that every single child in this district is protected. Lack of knowledge about a subject does not make the subject go away. It just breeds fear and confusion, which leads to hate and bullying. Banning these subjects from schools is discriminatory, cruel, and dangerous. Pronouns are not contagious. Identifying as LGBTQ+ is not contagious, but hate and fear are contagious. Let's have these conversations until nobody is uncomfortable with someone else's identity. Say gay.
Thank you. Barbara Kohler? Barbara? Oh, there you are, okay.
Hello, my name is Barbara Kohler. I'm the parent of 2 Springfield Elementary students. I just wanted to start by pointing out Ari, who I don't know, but I had trouble coming here tonight to do this. So as a
I'm sorry, just name and address real quick.
Oh, sorry, Barbara Kohler, and I'm on Forest Road.
Thank you.
So good job, Ari.
I'm sorry to interrupt. We
No,
just gotta
that's
do that.
okay, that's fine. Rules, got to follow them. All right, it is disheartening that we are here today to debate whether students can know that entire groups of people exist. We need people to take a deep breath, look around. These are your neighbors. There is no grand conspiracy to make all the students gay. It's just caring teachers trying to teach kids how to create a community where everyone feels welcome. Isn't that what we all want? To feel welcome. Children cannot meet their academic potential if they are consumed by fear or psychological stress. Emotional well-being is imperative to students' ability to learn. That's not an opinion, that's a fact, backed by research. The best way to foster educational growth is to create safe environments for young minds. So I'm here tonight to support our teachers and our schools who work to help our kids find their voices, care for one another, and grow, which then allows them to focus on the learning at hand. No one is harmed by accepting other humans for who they are. If parents prefer to teach their kids to reject others, they can do that at home. School is a place for everyone. It cannot become a place of mixed messages based on political wins. It simply needs to be about helping kids reach their potential and be their best selves. And I am confident that the majority of this community wants children to feel loved, accepted, and cared for. We cannot let those who hate progress and acceptance be the loudest voices. Let's be clear, if we do not stand up for these kids and these families, there will be a new target soon enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Sarah Tomaszewski. Pretty good? Good.
It was close.
I'm on fire tonight.
No, it was good. Usually I do the phonetic thing too, I forgot. My name is Sarah Tomaseski. I live on Prospect Road. I have 2 children, one of whom is at SLC. Very simply, I'm here tonight as a parent in the district, fully in support of an accepting and inclusive learning environment for all of our students. I'm calling on the board and the district to clearly and unequivocally support all our teachers, staff, and students with marginalized identities so that they are empowered to safely be their authentic selves. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mario Simino? Oh, Mario. You know Mario.
Good evening. Mario Simino, 46 South Morton Avenue, Morton, Pennsylvania. As I said, my name is Mario Simino. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a retired president of Morton Borough Council. I was born gay, and I am gay. I'm here to say unequivocally, LGBTQ plus rights are human rights. This is not an issue of cultural or political difference or debate. These are unalienable human rights. I want to say something to all of our LGBTQ plus students and community members that I wish I would have heard when I was in school. You have nothing to be ashamed of, and you do not owe anyone apology for being who you are. To our school board directors, including and particularly the fellow candidate of anti-LGBTQ plus petitioner Nicole Massino, Mr. Frank Agavino. I call on you, all of you, to declare Springfield School District a no place for hate community. I'm here to demand that Ms. Massino and her misguided supporters stop bullying our teachers and our students. They are doing their jobs, empowering the next generation of intelligent and humane citizens who are learning how to be decent human beings in this building. If Ms. Massino wants a willing adversary, she's welcome to have at me. She doesn't have to bully our teachers or our students, because make no mistake, when students see their teachers being bullied and threatened and punished for being who they are, they know that that's directed at them too. So let's not pretend otherwise. So if Ms. Massino wants a willing adversary, she's welcome to have at me. I'll be happy to debate anytime. I will denounce this kind of ignorance and bigotry at every chance I get, because she and her enablers are not just on the wrong side of history, they're on the wrong side of humanity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thomas DeLuca? Thomas? Oh.
Good evening, my name is TJ DeLuca. I live on Barker Road here in Springfield, Pennsylvania. I was born in Springfield Hospital. I still live on Barker Road and have for the majority of my life. I went to Springfield School District schools from kindergarten until I graduated, and 21 years ago this month, I walked into Springfield High School for the first time as a student. 20 years ago, we did not have national data on how LGBTQ students were treated in school environments. In 1999, the National School Climate Survey started to take data on how LGBTQ students perceived they were being treated and data on how they were actually being treated from both those students and their teachers in school. Several years later, they also started an additional survey to confirm that what the data was showing them was true. And it was seen very clearly that we did have a problem with how LGBTQ youth were treated in school. I can tell you from my own firsthand experience that when I walked into Springfield High School as a closeted LGBTQ man, that I had to leave as one as well because of the environment in the school. There were many people who were wonderful and fantastic during my time here, including Ms. Belton and Mr. Trout, who ran the Gay Straight Alliance, that I was terrified to attend because of the environment I had experienced up until high school and throughout all of it. I was unable to live as myself and punish myself and experience depression and many other things that I had to seek treatment for outside of school, despite the efforts of many in the school district between teachers and counselors and administrators who sought to help me because of the environment at the time. The most popular way to say something wasn't cool was to call it gay. And sometimes it still is, and that's not something that should be tolerated, nor do I think that anyone on the board thinks it should be. It has been shown through this government-funded research that consistently for decades now, that school climate is a critical factor for all students, and a positive and protective one, especially for our LGBTQ youth. All students have a right to be safe and in a supportive learning environment during their time in school. Inclusive policies and actions are directly linked to decreased truancy for LGBTQ youth and are an increased positive experience for all students. Other states have non-discrimination laws and very advanced anti-bullying policies that include actual or perceived sexual orientation, as well as gender identity and expression. Research has now repeatedly shown us that these states have lower rates of anti-gay remarks in schools, fewer suicide attempts, and lower levels of harassment and assault. I learned in this school about James Baldwin, a wonderful advocate for our rights as individuals and humans. And he has a quote that I think I want you all to remember. And it is about those people who started that petition. The quote simply says, "I cannot see what you say because I see what you do."
Thank you. Ellen Macario.
My name's Elena Macario. My address is correct on the sheet. I just want to say tonight, if y'all really cared about bullying, you'd have been here long before tonight. We have sat in these rooms many times talking about bullying in school. Nice to see so many of you showed up tonight. I believe many of you are confused on what's really the issue because none of us hate children. In fact, I'm a former teacher. No one dislikes anyone's children for anything. We're all in here because we care about our children and no one wants children to feel uncomfortable. The issue is we believe teaching and preaching is inappropriate in the classroom. Your child can be whomever they want, whatever they want. We have no issues with that. I feel like there's a lot of hate in this room, and it's not coming from us. I'm just saying, I saw many of you outside, I know many of you, and I said hello to you, and none of you had a problem. If there's a difference of
You have to talk to us. Can please respect the
that should be
speaker.
discussed, but no one hates your children. No one hates gay, trans, bi children at all. So I think you're getting the wrong message, and maybe if you'd like to talk about it in a reasonable manner, you would understand both sides, and there's nothing wrong with the discussion, a healthy discussion respecting people, but it seems that some of you are having a hard time with that tonight. So if you really wanted to be concerned with bullying, maybe that should be the real issue, and we should work together to keep our kids safe in a school that many haven't been.
Thank you. Mike Pupio.
Good evening, members of the school board. My name is Mike Pupio, 253 Alliston Road. I'm here tonight to echo many of the comments that were made by members of the public about what a very nice job Springfield School District does to make the institution and the community welcoming and accepting of diverse ideas. You have a very difficult job to do. You have to listen to different opinions, different voices, some loud, some not so loud, but a lot of times different. The only person we all agree with everything about is ourselves. So we have to look into the mirror, be able to understand and have difficult conversations as we move forward in times of change. Acceptance, love, and tolerance are all goals, making all children feel safe and respected and heard. Not just the opinions you hear here, not just the things you see online, but the students who may possess those opinions and don't express them. You do a wonderful job here in our community. We're one of the finest school districts in Delaware County. I know how hard your job is, and I thank you for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Amy Jackson.
Hello, my name is Amy Jackson. She, her are my pronouns, and I'm a Morton resident and a mom of 2 boys at Saybold. Good evening, Dr. Barber and school board representatives. Thank you for your service and for helping to ensure that our schools are places for courageous conversations, which will work to create safe and inclusive spaces for all of our students and teachers. I'm here to voice my support for the teachers and educators in our district who work tirelessly to educate our children and help foster their curiosity and understanding of the world. I'm here today to urge you to continue your work in supporting and protecting the acceptance and inclusion of all individuals in our district, whether they be a teacher, student, parent, or administrator. We're living in a rapidly changing world, and we need to listen and talk openly and honestly to each other. We cannot tolerate targeted attacks on students or teachers for encouraging students to express themselves, especially when these messages are distributed on school property. Teachers and students need to feel safe to express their unique qualities and learn from each other in an unconditionally caring environment. We cannot and should not restrict students from accessing mental and physical health supports while in school, even if their parents don't want them to participate. As we all know from events seen around the world in the past decade, we put our teachers and all of our students in mortal danger when mental health concerns fail to be addressed. As you may know, results of the 2019 Pennsylvania High School Youth Risk Behavior Survey just 3 years ago reported that 17.4% of LGBTQ+ students attempted suicide 1 or more times within 12 months prior to the survey, compared with 6.3% of heterosexual students. Many LGBTQ+ teens continue to feel alone and afraid. We need to encourage teachers and students to treat everyone with the dignity and respect that every person deserves. Students and teachers also deserve to feel heard and seen by our community. There are some individuals who believe that by refusing to discuss difficult issues, we're protecting children from harm. Unfortunately, shutting down open dialogue is harmful and restrictive and harms our youth in much more long-lasting ways than ignoring the issues that are all around us. In order to teach our children how to be helpful and resilient humans, we need to model this behavior, both inside and outside of the classroom. The board created a specific policy related to non-discrimination of transgender and gender-expansive students in 2017. Since issues pertaining to this matter are rapidly changing, it may behoove the board to consult with gender studies experts on how we can continue to create safe and inclusive learning environments when discussing these topics in school. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Marie Turnbull.
Hi, my name is Marie Turnbull. I live on Sharpless Road in Springfield. I've been a resident of Springfield for over 20 years. My son is an alumnus of Springfield High School, class of 2014. So I went to Catholic school more years than I care to share ago. And when I think about my experience and the experience of my classmates, many of whom I've had interactions with since high school, who have, I had no idea at the time if they were gay or straight or whatever. And the people who I have known in my life who have come out after the fact, all, they had a common message. Visibility matters. My son graduated in 2014, And the stories that I've heard here tonight from people who are parents of kids who graduated more recently or are students in the district now make me feel hopeful, because things are rapidly evolving. And the experience of the kids who graduated in 2014 is different than the experience of the kids who are in the district now. But the message of visibility matters is still the same. Visibility matters no matter what age, no matter what year. And for the kids that are coming through the school district today, to have the role models of teachers who are different identities, different genders, to see those small symbols, as Ari mentioned, to them to know that that is a safe space for them, to know they're not going to be bullied. I think that means a lot, and I think you've heard a lot of compelling stories this evening to that effect. So, you know, I'm proud of our district. I'm proud of the motto of our district, pride in all things. And I encourage you all to keep that in mind as you continue to do the good work that you're doing in the district. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary. Patrice Gannon. Patrice Gannon. Patrice, one more time. Okay, we'll move on to Veda Casto.
Hi, I'm Veda Casto, and the address on the street is correct. A few years ago, when I was in elementary school, I wanted to know what my sexuality was. So I didn't know what it was. So I did a little experiment, and I didn't know. So I did it. But then I realized a few years later that I didn't want to be lesbian, gay, bi, or anything. So I just decided to continue to be straight. But I will still support the LGBTQ+ and everybody that is part of that community. And I would like to thank everybody that will support that, and all the teachers that, and the Springfield community. Thank you.
Thank you. Marco Giordano.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marco Giordano. My pronouns are him, his, and he. I live on Beatty Road. Been a resident of Springfield for 40 years. I try to lead every day with the value of respect for the dignity and worth of every individual. Read my shirt. It's as simple as this. Be a good human. Let everyone be their authentic self. Let our teachers be the teachers they are trained to be. As has been shared in many other comments thus far this evening, this month is Suicide Awareness Month. The statistics have been shared. There's no time like the present to be aware, be kind, and be a good human. Thank you.
Thank you. Jenny Snyder. Jenny Snyder.
Hi, I'm Jenny Snyder. I'm a Springfield resident. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a parent of 2 children enrolled at Saybold Elementary. And when I heard of the petition, the hateful petition circulating and the bullying of a district teacher, it just really turned my stomach, and I felt compelled to speak this evening. I am thankful for and have gotten to know many wonderful, hardworking, dedicated, caring, kind teachers in this district, and my family feels they deserve nothing but our respect, our praise, and support. Our children are watching us. They are looking for us, their parents, their school, and their community leaders to set an example. Instead of tolerating hate and discrimination, I hope you will continue to fight against it and promote inclusiveness, empathy, and equity. In school, my kids hear the messages, take care of each other, work hard, be nice, and pride in all things. Those are wonderful messages, and I believe that the majority of our community, and especially our teachers, treat each other in ways that align with those messages. But the reality is that there have been members of our school community that have received an entirely different and hateful message from a small but vocal minority of folks in our district. There are teachers who have been harassed and mistreated, and if we do nothing about it, then we're hypocrites. And what we end up teaching our kids is that we don't care if others in our community do not feel safe, supported, or included. It's my hope that any next steps will include speaking out against any hateful or discriminatory actions against any member of the school community. But not just that. I hope you'll do some learning. Learn about what are some best practices for how we can be even more equitable and inclusive. I don't want to see this kind of hatred and exclusion continue to thrive in our schools. Everyone in the school community deserves to exist in a safe and supportive environment, and we have an opportunity to show our kids now that we practice what we preach. Thank you.
Thank you. David Borelli. David Borelli. One more time. David Borelli. Okay, we'll go to Kim Wood.
Hi, I'm Kim Wood. I'm on Sproul Road. I am a third-generation Springfield resident. I don't have prepared remarks either. So many people spoke so eloquently. I came because I heard about what was going on in our district. I have children in the district. I have children that have graduated the district. I want everyone to remember what it's like to be a middle schooler. It's hard. My daughter got picked on because she was blonde. I mean, it's any place in a school that our children can feel loved, wanted, supported is a place we need to foster. I don't have any children that are in a marginalized group. I don't always particularly understand all of it, but it's my job to learn. And it's my job to respect others and know that they have a human right to be who they're meant to be. And they deserve our respect. And our teachers deserve our respect. Our teachers, they try to have our children be the best they can be. It's important that we know that children see all of the adults in their life and they emulate them. So when we have children that are surrounded by compassionate adults that listen, that care, that hear them and respect them, then they grow to be children, they grow to be adults that continue to foster that. I've been to some different professional seminars, and one of the things that really stuck out is many times the easiest decision, that quick, easy, get it over with, that's never the long-term right decision. It's hard to be a middle schooler. It's hard to be a middle school teacher. Let's continue to support them, respect them, show them that they matter. And in this day and age, I'm sure you never thought you'd be in this position as a school board, being faced with a lot of the elements you're being faced with, the pressure, the political pressure. It shouldn't be that way. It's about community. It's about everything that makes our community better is our differences and our points of view and our passion, our respect for others. And so I just wanted to let you know that you don't need to be part of a marginalized society to understand how everybody matters. and to thank you for what you do for the school, for supporting the students, the teachers. Do the hard thing and continue to do that to strengthen our community. So thank you.
Thank you. Katie Reimer.
Hello, good evening. My name is Katie Reimer. I live on Beatty Road. I've been a Springfield resident since 2017. Moving back home to Delaware County has been one of the greatest moments of my life. A short message: this school district serves many different versions of what a family is. It also serves a diverse group of learners, and we are so very fortunate that the teachers over there work to meet our students where they are. I celebrate this almost every day. Be thankful you're not behind me in Carline. Last week, someone put a slip of paper under my windshield wiper. I was kind of annoyed because I thought I already gotten all the paper at back to school night. When I went home and scanned the QR code, nothing but slander against a teacher, naming that teacher just for doing her job. In middle school, many children have a sense of a variety of ideas through conversations at home, but need a safe and objective space to discuss them. I applaud the Springfield School District for its curriculum that provides for a safe, that provides for a safe space allowing young minds to grow and flourish. I am proud that a teacher has multiple pride flags on her window, or their window, and I am also proud that a teacher took the time to ask their students their pronouns, because for some, pronouns are really easy, and for others, they are not. And I am grateful for the time they have to figure out what is appropriate for them. I am proud to be a Springfield parent, and I have served as president of the Home and School just last year at the SLC. I support all families of all walks of life. Please, let's shut down this hatred and fear-mongering. Let's embrace every neighbor as our friend and learn to build bridges of kindness and respect, and know that hate has no home here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Diane Ozambella.
Thank you.
Oh, you're good? Who's this?
I thought I just heard my name.
What?
Diane Ozambella?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm Myrtle Avenue in Morton.
Okay.
And I'm just here to say that really super appreciative of the teachers of Springfield School District. They're doing such a great job caring for our children and upholding the policies of the school district. And after all that we've been through with the pandemic and all of those struggles and challenges, now is the time to really up the support of the teachers in every way that we can as people in the community and from where you sit on the board. So, and also just wanted to say that hate definitely has no home here. The students need to feel safe in the classroom, regardless of where they're coming from or whether they're trying to figure out who they are, because I think as a child and as a person on the planet, that's what we're doing as we're growing up. So, so keep it up, keep up the good work, and do everything that you can to support our wonderful teachers. Thank you.
Thank you. It's like Annette Day. Annette? Oh, okay, sorry, take your time.
Good evening. My name is Annette Day, and the address is correct on the form. I live in Morton.
And I am the mother of 2 beautiful children, one at Saybold and one that just entered into the SLC this year. Speaking of their interest into the SLC, going to the back-to-school night, I was so excited, I was so buoyed, I was just like so excited to have like another child like in the school district, because I actually moved here against like, when my husband was like, do you know what you're, yeah, but we moved here so our children can have a good, safe environment and a good, safe, respectful school district. So after the SLC back to school night, what happens, I go outside and my car, along with all of the other cars in the parking lot, papered with a hateful petition. I didn't even go home and see the petition. I was in my car and said, oh, well, what is this? And I kind of had a feeling about what it is. So I said, let me look at this now. And I cannot tell you the range of emotions that went through my body as I saw the vitriol and the hate directed to a wonderful, clearly a wonderful teacher in the school district who, what they're trying to do is promote love and tolerance, but instead, there was bullying and hate and vitriol against a teacher in our district. And again, I can't even begin to tell you the range of emotions. I actually didn't even write anything. I wasn't going to speak, but I was compelled to. Because, yes, visibility does matter. And for people who say, oh, well, people weren't here before, some of us have been here, actually, all along. All along, some of us have been here. And I know, like for myself, I've been told, oh, you're not from around here. I know, I'm a Philly joint. I'm a proud Philly joint, okay? Proud Philly joint. But I moved here so my kids can have a different environment, a respectful environment, and all the comments here that I see all the time, oh, they're not from around here. I've been told, oh, you're not from around here. But I'm here now. I'm here now, and yes, people are going to hear me. People are going to respect me because I'm here now, and I'm a therapist, and I know all about the suicidality of children. I know about being a target, and no one should feel that they're being targeted because of being who they are, because of something that they can't change. I can't change being black. I bet if I had papered people's cars with Black Lives Matters, what kind of uproar would that be? People's personal property. Personal property. There would be some kind of uproar, I'm sure. So I just wanted to say, I want to say thank you. Thank you to the board. Thank you to our teachers. Thank you for the support. And I really do hope that going forward, it could be less hate and more love and more acceptance, because there are no both sides to hate. There's no both sides to hate. Hate is hate.
Thank you. Your time's up. Thank you.
Is my time up? Really? All right, I'm just going to end with what my son said. Why can't we all just practice kindness and love each other?
Thank you. Next, we have Amy Wall Monte.
Very kind. Flip kids. 2 passes. Yo, thank you.
Amy? Oh, you good? Okay, good.
Very proud of Springfield.
Thank you. Gert Byrne?
Who is it?
Byrne? Mrs. Byrne? You're next.
My name is Jenny Byrne. The address on the form is correct. I have 3 very short minutes to advocate for school-age kids across the country. Kids are being bullied and harassed and are dying by suicide. Y'all talk about suicide, but I know firsthand. My beloved 17-year-old son, Ethan, was one of them. Ethan was a senior at Springfield High School, a firefighter and a lifeguard with plans to go to college at the time of his death. He was not a member of a protected demographic group, nor did he have any relatives that had been employed with this district. Those students who harassed Ethan and spread negative, life-altering lies about Ethan were never held accountable nor disciplined. Where was my community support? Where was my family's support besides our close friends? Those students were allowed to continue to participate in sports, enjoy the fun senior year stuff, attend prom, and walk with their class at graduation. One, ironically, even wearing his Honor Society sash. No guilt, no remorse, and they all moved on. We learned that Ethan was called to the principal's office 2 times in the first few days of return to in-person school during COVID regarding the false accusations leveled at him. We never received a phone call or email from the school regarding this contact. On the second day Ethan was called to the principal's office, that night he went into the woods and killed himself. My daughter and I found him, her only sibling. Had we been called by the school, we may have had a chance to help Ethan. Instead, Ethan endured the harassment, embarrassment, hatred, and threats all by himself, and now he's gone. So, school board, I ask you, why are policies on bullying and suicide prevention written if they're not implemented? Why are parents not called each and every time their child has contact with the principal's office? I beg you to take this seriously. Children are dying. So every time you hear fire siren, I want you all to think of Ethan. He should be on that fire truck continuing to serve his community that he loved to do. And think of Ethan when you take pictures of your child graduating or moving into college for the first time, things Ethan never got to do. Why? Because some people thought Ethan's life didn't matter. Ethan's life mattered. Look at my chart.
Thank you, Mrs. Byrne. Yep. So that was quite a few speakers. I appreciate everybody cooperating and giving everybody the opportunity to speak for their 3 minutes. It makes it a lot easier when we all cooperate and do a good job like we did tonight. So thank you. All right, we're going to move on to items for public information. First up, we have the Cougar Sports Report. Ms. Flynn.
Good evening, everyone. I do have a sports report tonight. Lot of great things happening at the high school and at ETR. ETR's sports are just getting started. Can't hear. Oh, sorry. They're just getting started, so there isn't a lot to report, but I will report next month on plenty of great stuff happening there.
Hey, Jen, why don't you just hold on a minute?
Oh, sure.
Let's.
Sure.
Where's everybody going? Well, why? Everybody wanted to be here, no, nobody wants to be here. And now they just go.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't hear, and I would just rather.
That's okay. No, it's fine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I think it's better now.
Ready to, should I? Okay, we're going to try it again. So here is my sports report. So as I mentioned, ETR is just beginning, but lots of great things are happening here at the high school. In golf, Danny Flaherty and Ben Pintoff played yesterday in the Central League tournament, and they both are moving on to the district tournament on October the 10th. So good luck to those 2 athletes. Cross country has had 3 meets.
Shh, excuse me. Oh, hold on, Jen, I'm sorry. Hold on, just hold on, because they're not respecting you. That's very disappointing. We'll see you.
Thank you.
Good night. You too. All right.
We're ready.
Sorry about that. I'll try not to interrupt
Let's give
again.
this a third try. Cross Country has had 3 meets at Rose Tree Park, and they have over 40 students who are participating, which is fantastic. Volleyball has had 2 straight games and has been very competitive against very strong league opponents. We're very excited to have a freshman team this year because so many kids came out to participate. In soccer, both boys and girls are off to a good start and have big weeks starting next week, so we wish them the best of luck. Football, after a 2-0 start, football lost a very good game to Strathaven last week, but are hoping to turn it around again this week at Garnet Valley. Game starts at 7, cost is $5 to get in. Always a fun night, and this is a great time to go out and watch football. Field hockey, they have a .500 record and have been much improved this season. And girls tennis won program best 6 matches this year. They had a record number of participants who also came out, which is wonderful. They're taking advantage of our fields and our courts in the back. I encourage everyone to go out and watch our teams. They're doing great. Most play right here at the high school. You can go on our website to check out the schedule. And now a big note, on October the 9th at 1 p.m., we're going to host a rematch of the national championship game in lacrosse, Maryland versus Cornell. And this is a great opportunity to watch some really awesome lacrosse. All tickets must be purchased in advance, and they're $5 a ticket. And lastly, our leadership group has got started to form. This is a group of students who are nominated by their coaches to be who are leaders in our school, our community, and they get together. They usually discuss a topic from a book and have really great discussions, and our athletic directors fill us in on their progress through the year. So more to be reported next month. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
So, Jen mentioned the lacrosse game on the 9th, and Tony's probably going to talk about this, but if I don't say it now, I'll forget it. But that's a big weekend for us because on the 8th, the day before, we're having an open house here at the high school from 10 to 2. We decided a year or 2 after opening, we ought to invite everybody out and see it. For obvious reasons, that was delayed, but we'd love to have everybody come out and see more than the auditorium. How's that? So that's the 8th from 10 to 2.
President Lord,
Yes.
if I could just take a second, it was mentioned earlier about the marching band. My daughter is in the marching band, and I just want to give a shout out to the director. It is fantastic job. She's having a blast, and it's
Good.
a wonderful show, and she comes home smiling all the time, so I just want to give a shout out to that.
Awesome. Thank you, Kevin. Next, we have Ms. Matei with the SSD Summer Update.
Good evening, President Lord and School Board Directors. Thanks for having me out this evening. I'm going to give a report that I gave in Ed Committee. It's just a recap from this past summer and our summer programs. The summer of 2022 was really an exciting summer. We ran a Summer Scholars Program for students in K to 8. The goal of the program was skill recovery and maintenance, to avoid that summer slide that happens every summer. The students received small group and direct instruction in reading and math based on targeted academic needs, based on their needs. We were able to group students based on their needs. The students were invited to Summer Scholars in the spring based on their spring academic data, including MAP scores, iReady, curriculum-based assessments, and teacher recommendations. Summer Scholars ran for 5 weeks, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We think that the change in schedule of just running Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday improved our attendance because it is summer and the parents did enjoy having those 4-day weekends. We also provided transportation for the first time this year, and that also really helped with attendance. We had 18 elementary teachers and 1 coordinator, 2 learning assistants, and 13 super scholars, which were our high school students who volunteered to come and support and help. They helped in the classrooms with instruction, they helped with student supervision. We had 170 students in grades K to 5 attend this summer. They attended, the average attendance was 12 out of the 15 possible sessions throughout the summer, so the attendance was really good. They had 75 minutes of ELA and reading, 75 minutes of math, and then 30 minutes of a STEM activity. We also ran an ETR Summer Scholars. It was a slightly smaller group. As you can imagine, it's a little harder to get 6th through 8th graders to commit to being here in the summer. But it was a targeted group of 30 students. We had 3 middle school teachers, and again, it was academic support in math and focused on ELA and writing, close reading, and text annotation. I want to mention that lots of school districts had really difficult time getting teachers to staff their summer programs. We did not. Our staff really stepped up, and they were awesome. We had so many teachers volunteer to come out and, well, actually to apply to work this summer, but we ended up with all contracted teachers. We did not even have to dip into our sub pool. So it's really kudos to our staff, and they made great connections with our students. We were talking today at Scenic about a student who was really anxious to come to school at the beginning of the school year. He's in 5th grade, but he actually knew the teacher from having the teacher in the summer program, which was really awesome. It made this transition smooth. So I really do want to thank our staff for supporting our summer programs. Camp Invention, it was our largest group ever for Camp Invention. This was our 5th year of running Camp Invention. We had 181 campers in grades 1 through 6. We had 15 leaders in training, which are students in grades 7 to 9, and 29 leader interns, which are our high school students in grades 10 to 12. And again, we had 10 teachers and 2 directors, all of our own teachers working Camp Invention. So I think after the kids have been home for 2 years, parents were really looking for a place for their kids to go for a week. And, you know, that was a really good spot for them to go. The activities were awesome. Robotic aquatics, marble arcade, and Spacecation, where the students planned how to take a vacation in space and all the supplies they would need to survive. So it was a really busy summer. It was great to return to what we felt like it was a normal summer of activities. We were happy to have the opportunity to expand our programs, and we're going to hope to maintain those programs in the summers to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cindy. All right. Next, we have committee reports. Education, Dr. Laughlin.
Thank you, President Lord. The Education Committee met on September 8th. Which was our first meeting starting off with the school year. So first up, the topic was actually what's the district advisory team. Many of you may actually be familiar with this. This is pre-COVID, that the district has had this advisory team where all are welcome across the community to participate. In general, it's a committee where we form to discuss, I would say, in very important topics, but maybe not urgent topics. Things such as in the past we've covered through the district advisory team have been our homework policies. And actually, it was from those first discussions through district advisory, we'd actually talked about the academy model, which is what we now currently have and adopted within the high school. So we decided that now that we are back in live in person, that we wanted to start up the district advisory team again. Dr. Hepp and Dr. Butler presented the overview of what the topic was, knowing that this is something that we've not endeavored, given that we've been through a pandemic in the last few years, and decided that the topic for this year will be looking at the, I like to say more broadly, class rank, but essentially looking at salutatorian and valedictorian and currently what are the policies in our district, as well as looking at other districts and historical data, as well as current data on the state of affairs for those positions. So that'll be something that we'll be covering throughout the Education Committee. So again, more than welcome if you're interested in that topic to come participate. As Mrs. Matei said, we had covered off on the summer programs, which is great. One that's near and dear to my heart is Camp Invention. I was was able to go and see. Given that I'm a scientist, it's really nice to see, kind of warms my heart when you see elementary school students already thinking about science and wanting to pursue science. I guess all I would like to add is what really intrigued me is the one room that was devoted to nothing but the recycled materials that parents were able to donate. So everything from cardboard to styrofoam to you name it, the kids got to go in every day, collect what they wanted, and then make what they wanted at it. So again, real creativity in action. Also, too, when we start the new year off, Dr. Butler likes to share with us an update on a technology report, so just kind of some fun facts and statistics. She reported out that there was over the summer, over 23 smart and Promethean panels were installed across the kindergarten through 8 buildings, and the goal for the end of this month is that all Windows laptops and desktops will be re-imaged for children. In addition, we always have to be worried about cybersecurity in this day and age, so there was staff training on email phishing, and in addition, there were just additional security provisions put in place. I'm going to test my acronyms here, but, multi-factor authentication. How did you like that, President Lord? Did I do
over
okay?
my head.
Did I do okay?
Yeah.
Deployed again, these are just, techniques put in place that many of you have within your workplace, but we need to make sure that we do them here in the school district. Again, sensitive things such as our emails and accounts. And of course, given what we've just been through the last year, updated our disaster recovery plan and incident response report. And then lastly, as in each month, we always end on our principal reports, giving us an update on all the great things that are happening across our buildings. And happy to say the school year got off to a great start. I have to say, too, I guess I will end with, as always, I'm very supportive of teachers. My mother was a teacher. My cousin is a teacher. My other cousin's a teacher. My other cousin married a teacher. My grandmother's a teacher. So, very supportive of our teachers. My husband's a teacher. Sorry, Sam. Sorry, Sam. We'll talk later. God, I really messed up, didn't I? Sorry. So I'm really supportive of our teachers, and, it always warms my heart when September rolls around, because I love school so much, hence why my father kept saying, "You really aren't going back to college?" "No, Dad, I think I'm done. I think I have enough degrees." But it really warms my heart when the school year comes, and again, thank you for all that you do. Next meeting is October 12th. Again, as always, the public is welcome to join.
Thank you, Jen. Next, we have facilities. Mr. Keenan.
Thank you, President Lord. Facilities did meet on September 8th. We continue to work on the contract closeouts for Phase 1, 2, and 3 on the master plan, which includes this building, the fields behind it, as well as Halderman Field. It's always a process to get these jobs closed out, warranted, et cetera, and we continue to work and manage that process. We also discussed the stonework out back. To my neighbors, anyone that hasn't seen it, there's a nice stone sitting area that we put in the back by the pathway going through. So it's going to be a pathway that you can take cutting through from Scenic to Saxer, and just in general going through the neighborhood. And if you happen to go by and see it, if you would take notice, the cornerstones from from the old building, as well as all the additions, have been incorporated to that. So we took a bit from the past and incorporated to it, and we're not complete with that. So we're going to do some other features with it to make it a nice area to meet and gather. We are also going to take plaques. This was one of the things we discussed. We're going to take plaques. The district, many decades ago, had schools that are no longer in use, buildings that have been sold, torn down, et cetera. We're going to mount the plaques on the back of the visitors' bleachers, so with all of the cornerstones in this stone circle and the plaques, it should give a nice touch of keeping us connected with our path and where we came from. Our final point of discussion was the HVAC project at ETR. So if you remember, over the past couple board meetings, Scenic was done first, Sable will be done this summer. The board still has to make a decision, but we are getting the planning and the budgeting numbers to air condition E.T. Richardson, and that would be the following summer. Facilities is uncomfortable shutting down 2/5 of our assets over a summer, God forbid if something happened, especially with the supply chain right now of not being able to open 2 buildings at the beginning of school. So the Scenic HVAC project is complete. We are looking to make some alterations with that. We'll be coming, we heard the community loud and clear about the gym, so we'll be coming back and looking at, the board will be looking at potentially air conditioning the gym, so that'll be on our next facilities meeting. And that meeting occurs on, is it the 12th, Jen?
Yes.
Yes, the
Yes.
12th. Please contact Don Mooney. If the meetings are light, I will have that agenda online, so people don't need to get all dressed up and come in. Everyone volunteers their time quite a bit. If there is a substantial agenda, then we'll have it in one of our conference rooms. In closing, I just wanted to thank everyone, thank all my neighbors. I'm a Springfield class of 95. My wife's 94. My mom and dad still live in the town, as does my mother-in-law. And I see videos of board meetings go awry, and it always scares me. And I'm always so impressed with our community that we can have these difficult conversations and keep a level of civility and keep a level of discord. We've been through heck for the past couple of years, and as long as we can keep that level of civility, I'm confident as a community we can take on any challenge. So thank you for your civility tonight. I truly appreciate that.
Thank you, Kevin. Finance and Audit, Mr. Agavino.
No report, Bruce. The Finance and Audit did not meet.
Okay, and there's no report for personnel. Policy, Mr. Bentavania.
Policy Committee did not meet this month.
Well, how about Volunteer Memorial?
Volunteer Memorial Committee met on Monday, September the 19th. We discussed the 4th of July celebration from this year, and we also discussed some of the changes we might like to make for next year's celebration.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, we have consent agenda. Although board action is required, it is generally unnecessary to hold discussion on these items. With the consent of all members, they are therefore grouped and approval is given in one motion. In the event a board member wants to discuss any item, the board president will move it to the appropriate place on the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments on the consent agenda? No, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? It carries 8-0. Next, we have items for board action. First up, we have the personnel report. Recommendation reads that the board approves the personnel actions as listed in the personnel report. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Bellis.
Thank you, President Lord. Although we're winding down from the summer hiring, we do have a few items on our personnel report this evening. We do have 2 retirement notifications of non-certified support staff members, and we have a resignation of a non-certified support staff member. We're recommending the employment of 4 non-certified support staff members, and we have a change of employment status from a part-time employee to a full-time employee. And that concludes my report this evening. Thank you.
Any questions for Ms. Bellis?
One comment, President Lord, Ms. Bellis, just like to thank you for filling all the positions. I know how hiring is a challenge right now, and you did a wonderful job in getting us great staff. Thank you.
I appreciate that. It was a team effort. Our principals and Doddles worked very hard through the interview process.
Just
Thank
take the
you.
compliment. Just say thank you.
Chief, you're full of compliments tonight. She's figuring she's
Every now and then.
That's because his mom's in the audience.
I get to be happy every so often.
He does this every meeting. All right. I guess we should vote on that, huh? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 8-0. Next up, we have independent contractor agreement. Recommendation reads that the board approves the agreement between Springfield School District and independent contractor ProCare Therapy, licensed social worker, to provide clinical services for the Springfield School District. The agreement is for the 2022-2023 school year to be billed at a rate of $70 per hour. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mooney.
Thank you, President Lord. So the district is hiring an additional social worker that will be used throughout the district to provide clinical services, support services for our students. And we are fortunate we're receiving a grant funding to cover some of the costs of this, probably for a little bit over a year and a half for this company.
Any questions for Mr. Mooney? Okay, we'll move to vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 8-0. Okay, we have the liaison reports. First up, we have solicitors report. Ms. McCullough.
Thank you, President Lord, but I do not have a report this evening.
Okay. Next, we have the Delaware County Community College Board report. Mr. Sillo.
Thank you, President Lord. Actually, I do have a short report.
All right.
So we did get a liaison update report from email from the community college just this past week. Just some information they gave us. The fall enrollment from sponsoring school districts. Springfield School Districts has 207 students enrolled for a total of 1,727 credits out of total sponsoring school district enrollment of like 4,074. So 207 students are currently enrolled in Delaware County Community College. We also have 7 students that are participating in dual enrollment for a total of 32 credits. They also alerted us that they are consolidating the Exton and Downingtown campuses effective July 1st of 23 due to a decline in enrollment. Exton will be downsizing into the Downingtown campus. They'll be closing the Exton campus that they currently lease versus the Downingtown one that they own. In addition, they alerted that Governor Wolf had just awarded the college an additional $750,000 in redevelopment assistance capital program funds, bringing the total amount of what they've received to $5 million. And lastly, Wednesday, October 12th, they'll be having their appreciation dinner for sponsoring school board members, superintendents, and high school principals. It has been an annual event. They haven't had the last couple of years due to the COVID pandemic, and they'll have a liaison meeting to follow that. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, future board meetings. Next meeting is October 27th, 2022, and then we have one November 17th, 2022. Superintendent salutations, Mr. Barber, Dr. Barber.
Thank you, President Lord, and I just want to say thank you for everyone that stayed. It was really awesome to have our community out tonight, so I just want to make sure I echo the, what President Dr. Lord said. It's important that we do have civil discourse and that we have the opportunity in a free country to come together and discuss matters that are important to us, especially in a public system. But this is a public system. This is a public school. And we heard a lot of words tonight about kindness and compassion and being good people. And I thought of this quote as people were speaking, and I think it resonated with me. I don't know if it'll resonate with you, but it did with me. Assume good intentions until proven otherwise, and then forgive. We're a big organization. We're 600 employees. We're thousands of students, tens of thousands of families. We're 2 towns. That S represents much more than we could ever possibly imagine. And when I think about another word that means a lot tonight and every day is the word trust. And having the benefit of walking the hallways of this school district, seeing the incredible work that they do every single day, summer, winter, fall, it doesn't matter. How many times did I see Christine in a room this summer, and we're blinding from the sun coming in your room, but you're there. And to see the happy smiles on the kids' faces, to see our teachers engaging people in thinking, in processing, in finding their why, that's what a public system's supposed to do. That's what we've been charged to do with this board, and that's what we're going to continue to do. So if you want to talk about trust and support, every single person up here on this board sent their children to the Springfield School District and grandchildren, right? I choose to send my kids, 1 already through and 2 hopefully to make it, for the district, for the community, for the experience, but for them. But for them. And if anybody had any shadow of a doubt what kind of statement we would make, I think the statement that our kids go here is a pretty good one. Have a good night, everybody.
Should I? One last thing, since we have some people here, and
We're going to take advantage of you.
we're just not used to it. So if we appear nervous, maybe it's... but I thought this would be good. One of our speakers tonight, Mr. Lee, has been a staple for as long as I've been on the board, and he's a great supporter of the district. And over the last couple of weeks, I saw him at a couple football games, and I was telling Dr. Barber, and he said, he goes to all the sport events. And I said, wow, you know, this guy's supporting our sports, our board, everything. It's pretty special. So the board...
It's also because you had Radnor colors on that night, you know? Can't have it.
Just can't have that, Mr. Lee. But thanks for all you do for us. Okay, well, before and after each meeting, the board meets in non-public executive study session to discuss personnel, legal, and labor relation matters. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Good evening.
Thank you, everybody.